Hey guys, I'm Shawn of WebPianoTeacher.com. How are you doing today? Welcome to my studio. I'm loving being on YouTube for 20 years, having my website for 20 years, and I'm going to tell you today how I actually learned all 32 Beethoven piano sonatas. I can play the movements from every one. I don't have them all memorized, but I can play every one of them, and I'm going to show you how I did that, my system for doing it. I'm going to pass that on to you today. So this sonata is Beethoven's first sonata, Opus 2, number 1. And I just want to let you know, in case you're interested in learning the whole thing measure by measure, I actually just uploaded 8 hours of lessons teaching you all 4 movements for this sonata to my website. And for $1, you can do a 7-day trial, no obligation to cancel anytime. See if it works for you, but I hold your hand through each measure, show you everything I know about Beethoven and technique, theory, and what you can do to learn this sonata. Let's take a listen. Here it goes. Fermata and then left hand. Well, you can always count on Beethoven to give you some left hand stuff that's hard, can't you? Well, I love Beethoven. I can't choose who's my favorite composer. I kind of go back and forth between Bach and Beethoven, but I just love Beethoven because he really gives you a good understanding of music in general that's applicable to all these guys behind me on these records, all types of music, just the chord structure and the way he wrote music, his structure when he wrote piano sonatas. So I love studying Beethoven, and I want to show you what I did in college, what I started, and then it's something very simple, and if you can manage to do it, I think it'll actually help you. So we're going to take the first 2 lines of music here for this sonata, and you can apply this to any of the sonatas. First, I recommend trying a sonata that's not too out of your league, okay? This first one's not so bad. But, picking one that's not just one of his most hard, don't start with a hammer clavier, okay? So what I would do is I'd take one line of music, all right? And I would just play left hand alone 3 times. So I got 4 flats in the key signature, so I know B, E, A, D are my flats. I start with an F minor chord, F, A, flat, C. So I would just 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1. Then I would play my E, G, B flat, C chord, C7 chord, and then I'd go back and do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's my second repetition. I would do it one more time for the third. Even if it was very easy, I still do it 3 times. 1. And that's all I would do. I would go the right hand now. Same thing, 3 times. C, F, A flat, C, F, A flat, G. Next measure. And if the music was really hard, you could even divide the line in half. But I would usually try a line. Second time. Then I'll do it one more time for the third time. And then I would put hands together. Now, I may need to go slow. I kind of went fast there, but you can go even slower, and I recommend going slower if you need to. So here we go. We're going to put them together now. That was my first time. Second time through. I'm going to demonstrate it, because if I don't demonstrate it, you don't really get it. And here's the third time. Now, what that does, it really gives me a sense of what the left hand's doing, what the right hand's doing. Then when I put them together, I really feel like I know each hand independently and also together. So it's really important to play that hand separately stuff. So a lot of people will do that when they first start piano lessons, and then they'll stop doing it and never do it again. I recommend to keep doing the hand separately, the left hand by itself. It's really helpful. And then by that time, you've done it 6 times, right? Left 3, right 3, together 3. Then I'd move on to the second line. I'd do the same thing. Okay. Now, after I practice, I may only do 2 lines, but I'll tell you what, I'll know those 2 lines better than I knew anything doing it like that. So it's better to really get down a small portion than it is to try a whole page and stink at it. Okay. And if you have pauses, that's okay. Pauses are natural. Don't worry about those pauses. They'll disappear as you begin to memorize and physically memorize the piece. Okay. Second line, F minor, then I go to G, B flat, E natural. 1, F minor, boom. And then I'm the C, G, and then I may start that for the left hand. Then I do a second time, then a third time. Okay. I won't do that here, but that's what I would do. Right hand. So I'm very regimented in how I'm practicing. I do everything the same way. Then I would do it 2 more times. Then I put them together, going really slow to make sure I line them up correctly. And you see the fortissimo on the piano. I wouldn't really worry too much about the dynamics at this point because I want to get the notes under my fingers. And if I try to play things softer, then it tends to be weaker. And I don't really get it as much as I will the other sections if I play something soft. So I play all of it loud, knowing that later I'm going to add the dynamics. And I'm aware of the dynamics as I'm doing it. So then after I do that, and I've worked on both lines, guess what I do now? Now I try 2 lines. This may be all I do today, but that's okay because I will know these 2 lines like I know the back of my hand. Okay, so here we go. Let's try the 2 lines. I can. In all reality, I'd probably save that for another practice session because that begins a new phrase. But the point is, now I tried those 2 lines and I would do that 2 more times, always in groups of 3s. 3s is great. Any more than that kind of gets laborious. Our brain starts to turn off. But 3 times is a good amount. And I always say go slow enough to get it right. So it doesn't matter if you're crawling playing this, as long as you're pushing down the right keys, your brain's going to be remembering and you're going to remember, physically, that physical memory that you need. And you'll be training your ear at the same time. So that's how I would do it. And maybe today you only do those 2 lines. And then tomorrow, here's the key. So tomorrow, the next day, because if you do too much, okay, your brain can only take so much at one time. So more than 2 lines is probably too much for the first day. But the second day, I'm going to start with the left hand. Then I keep going with the left hand. And then I would do the right hand the same way. Then I put them together after I do it 3 times. I'm not going to sit here and do it 3 times. This video would be so long. So now I'm going to put them together. Now that's day 2, and I would do this line exactly the same way, and then I would play those 2 together after I did 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Then I would play both lines 3 times. Then only then would I go back and revisit the first 2 lines. The problem is when people practice, they always start at the beginning. So the beginning gets really good, and it always seems like, the beginnings of things are easy. No, they're not. You just know them better because you always start there, okay? So on the 3rd day of practice, start on the next 2 lines of music. Or maybe you can only do 1 line of music per day. That's fine. But you have to have a system of how you work on things. And it has to be repetitions. It has to be in a way that you can get it right, slow enough to where you can get it right. And you've got to have a pattern where you work on small sections and begin to put them together without doing too much at one time, okay? Don't try a whole page if that's not what you can do, because you may be able to get through it, but you're not remembering what you're doing because you're trying too much, okay? It's too much information at one time. And the next day, try the next 2 lines. The next day, try the next 2 lines. Then eventually, you're playing the whole page, okay? You may be the middle of the week, and now you've only done page 1, but listen, you know page 1 well, okay? And as soon as you know it kind of well, start on page 2 the same way. Then when you go back and revisit page 1, you can play it, but you won't have to play it as much because you'll remember it. You'll still have to knock the dust off, but you won't completely forget it, okay? You can go through the whole sonata movement that way from beginning to end, okay? So that's how I learned all 32. I really did. And I recommend doing that. If you're not a good sight reader, let's say you just can't read it all, like you're terrible. Like if you could see these notes I was pointing to, and you don't know what the notes are without looking them up, you're in bad shape there as far as if you're going to try Beethoven. You need to develop your skill of sight reading first. So you need a sight reading boot camp series of some level. I have them on my website. Other people have them, so you can try someone else's. But you need some sight reading boot camp series that's going to teach you the skill of sight reading, so that it doesn't take so long, so that you're faster at seeing the note and knowing where it goes on the piano. Okay, if that's not very quick, if you're not very good at that, just playing music is not going to make you better at that. I'm sorry, it's not, and I'm saving you some time there. You need to find a program that works on the skill of sight reading so that you can come to pieces like this and play them, okay? That'll save you a lot of time as well. I have a sight reading boot camp on my site. If you don't try mine, you can try someone else's. But I hope this little lesson helped you guys to start learning to some Beethoven. And again, I have the whole thing uploaded. I just did 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours, something like that, of lessons for this whole sonata, and I take you all the way through it, show you how to practice it, show you all the chords that you're playing, how to play, technically, how to use the pedal, everything I could think of as I'm going through this. And I've played all 32, so I have quite a bit of knowledge to impart to you as we're doing that. Again, that's webpianoteacher.com. And if you do the $1 trial, you just go up to the top and click WPT University, scroll down to where you see the Beethoven Sonata, and there it will be. This is a great one to start with. It's his first sonata that he published. He wrote it in his early 20s, and it's just one of the most wonderful pieces of music I've ever played. Talk to you guys later.